Welcome in, everybody. It's your boy MC. So hurry up, get in the link, subscribe to the channel. This is the weekend. Happy 4th of July. Get your barbecuing and stuff ready. I hope it's in the refrigerator. And I mean, Trump beautiful bill is just hitting the airwave, and I got the California tax break from this bill. See, it's going to be tax breaks all across the board when it comes to this beautiful bill. And he met the deadline. See, this is what the left do not want you to know. So I put in the chat also you AOC, Alexandria Cortez, representative. Her lies. As we know on the YouTube streets and in the Instagram streets, you already know, like she always claiming the bronze, and a lot of that stuff been exposed, been brought up real well and fancy dancy, as our girl Jasmine Crockett. So we finna get some of this thing started. Now, I hope I don't have some struggle screaming going on, and I hope everybody hear me. So let me do the chat thing, because that's one way I can find out. Let me type, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Oh, man, I got all caps. Welcome to the show. And I mean, the first screen up that got me really thinking about this thing is Officer Tatum and this other screen. So before we get some things started, where's the real sophisticated part I should talk to keep everybody in on this show? So we're going to go like this, and I'm going to back it up. We ain't going to listen to Hakeem lying Jeffries. Look at his stance right there. First of all, I want y'all to remember the way he's looking. Do that look like someone that's really seriously going in the paint for us? For what community? And is everybody really paying attention? So with that there, let me bag this up. And like I said, this is Trump beautiful bill. $40,000 California tax break is coming. A $40,000 tax break is coming. Like I said, that, now we finna look at something that I really need y'all to stay in this show and let's get involved, because most of these blue states, they in for the way you get more meat for your dollars, is that you gotta stay according to the laws. So all this catastrophizing, saying this is popping up, let's look at this one first.
Things that
he's on the thing.
Imagine being able to build.
It always gotta come with some wow.
Anything. For any reason, in any style, at any. You're going to see. First
Now we're going to listen to this one. Check this out. Fair use.
and foremost, the good news.
Fair use.
Your taxes will be lowered. And this is wonderful. Because let me go through the 5 things that you're going to see. First and foremost, the good news. Your taxes will be lowered. And this is wonderful. Because had this bill not passed, your taxes would spike here in California. Both if you're a business or if you're an individual taxpayer, your taxes would be higher. And that's a fact. For all the misrepresentations that the liberal media puts out and the Democrat politicians are putting out about Trump tax cuts only benefiting the wealthy. No. It benefits across the board. The good news in this bill is that you're going to be getting even a better tax relief package as a California taxpayer than you did in the first administration, the first round. That is because in the first round, while your overall taxes were reduced, there was a cap put on what you can deduct from your state and local taxes. And because you
You
live in
don't
California
say.
and we have the highest state and local taxes of any state in the nation, you weren't able to write off, most of you were not able to write off your full tax burden, such as your state income tax, your
Listen,
state property taxes. And so there was a SALT cap of $10,000. You were limited to just $10,000 of taxes paid for your write-off.
did y'all hear that? How limited you was with the last administration. It was a cap. And one thing I do know about California, and I work over here with these, you see, I got the hustler one on today. I work over here with these hustlers. And I mean, it was a cap. They love doing caps. They just love doing caps. I don't know why, but somehow caps is the thing to do out here in California. Let's listen to that one more time. Y'all missed it. Y'all really missed it, man. Let me get out the way. Y'all missed it. Let me do it again.
State income tax deduct from your state and local better tax relief package as a California taxpayer than you did in the first administration. And the Democrat politicians are putting out about Trump tax cuts only benefiting the wealthy. No. It benefits across the board. The good news in this bill is that you're going to be getting even a better tax relief package as a California taxpayer than you did in the first administration, the first round. That is because in the first round, while your overall taxes were reduced, there was a cap put on what you can deduct from your state and local taxes. And because you live in California and we have the highest state and local taxes of any state in the nation, you weren't able to write off, most of you were not able to write off your full tax burden, such as your state income tax, your state property taxes. And so there was a SALT cap of $10,000. You were limited to just $10,000 of taxes paid for your write-off. Under this bill, the big, beautiful bill, you can write off up to $40,000. This is a big deal. $40,000 of state and local taxes. And so that will translate into better.
So it went from 10 to 40. See? They ain't letting you know everything because you got to look at this, family. We're talking to people that all of a sudden get in the paint in office and forget about us. It's not even about us without us. And Trump is looking out and changing the game, making it about America. All about us are, hey, it'd rather be about us without us. That's what the other administration were doing. But he's doing it like it is about us, for us, the USA, us, the United States. So feel free to go over there and look at California reform. I'm going to probably speed it up a little bit more and we're going to sign out because, man, it's another surprise. Not only that, he's putting sending for, like, if you're legal or if you're already here and you're sending money back to other countries, oh, he got a tax on that. See, the last administration wasn't doing that. And I'm bringing that to you also. So until then, hey, no one never heard of that being taxed. Okay. All right. So let's get back into some little bit more of this.
Tax savings for you. If you are a worker that gets tips, your tips will be exempt from federal income tax. So this is a wonderful improvement over the first round of tax cuts. So that's the first big impact, a good impact. You're going to see lower taxes, and particularly as a Californian, the SALT deduction, the SALT cap being increased from $10,000 to $40,000 will help you maximize your tax savings. Second, does the bill crack down on illegal immigrants? Not really. I was hoping that they would pass a provision that said any state that gives free healthcare for illegal immigrants would no longer get a full reimbursement for their Medicaid expenses. That provision was deemed to be impermissible under the budget reconciliation rules. And of course, senators needed 60 votes to make that change, and it failed 54 to 46. So
one thing I know is that bill will be taxed, and we will have to pick up the load for immigrants coming into our waiting rooms and in our mental health rooms. And Hey, shit, if you want to do that thing where, uh, hey, safe refuges in these blue states, now they're going to have to pick up the tab out of their state funding when we already got this catastrophic effect, apocalypse of homelessness bearing down on it. Think about it. That's going to be pretty hindrance. And a lot of people are leaving California and going elsewhere. So let's see if Willie brings it up.
But there are some other provisions in here against illegal immigrants. First, if an illegal immigrant uses an emergency room, the reimbursement for that expense will be less. And so the state of California will have to pick up more of an expense for an illegal immigrant using the emergency room.
See? And that's what I was talking about. So fair use, go over there and check out the rest of the show, Reform California. Now we're going to get to the other part of the show that's going to be really crack-a-lack. Because in the meanwhile, while we're listening to this part of the show, that part of the other part I'm finna show y'all, we finna be like, fair use. Fair use. So first, let's look at this part. Read that caption. The filibuster is a Jim Crow era relic that has been used to stop progress for decades. Do y'all read that? That was in his Instagram post or whatever post. Hakeem Jeffries. Love talking about filibusters, but although we all know that the civil rights have been hijacked and has been a filibuster and a relic of nothing really about us was about us. I mean, the black Americans. Things and provisions like, trade schools and the university was always being dogged out. These black colleges have been dogged out on money and funding and a whole lot of other things. So let's get on with the show. And this is going to be fair use show.
All right, Hakeem Jeffries said in a tweet, said the
Without objection, the
All right, perfect. Let's go to Hakeem Jeffries real quick. Clip three. All right, Hakeem Jeffries said in a tweet, said the filibuster is a Jim Crow era relic that has been used to stop progress for decades. Enough. Now, you know what's kind of funny when he talks about the filibuster? The Democrats filibuster, the longest filibuster in history other than Booker doing it recently just to save face. But they had the longest filibuster in United States history, filibuster against the Civil Rights Act. So don't act like the filibuster is something that is inherently something that the Republicans do. It's something that the Democrats do, and they do it maliciously. Hakeem Jeffries is a nut job, in my personal opinion. You can't believe nothing that he says or any of the other progressive Democrats. Let's go to what Secretary Bassett said about Hakeem Jeffries. Let's roll the clip.
What do you make of Hakeem Jeffries at the podium for more than an hour trying to discredit this bill right now?
Well, Maria, I'm not going to take firefighting advice from an arsonist. The Democrats had the majorities. They blew out the budget. They had the tons of wasteful spending, and we inherited a mess. And under President Trump's leadership, along with Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune, we are going to get the economy humming again via the private sector. This is a Main Street Working America bill. It is going to address the affordability crisis. We are going to increase working people's wages. And, the Democratic Party at present doesn't stand for anything. They're just against everything. And let's see where the economy is this time next year. I think this bill, over the next year, we are going to see growth like we have not seen. And importantly, it is going to be non-inflationary growth, which is something the Democrats couldn't do.
Let's talk about this real quick before we go to the next clip, because I know AOC said something really stupid, and we got to put her on the screen. But just a few takeaways, right? Extend the 2017 Trump tax cuts. This is something that if we hadn't passed this bill and the tax cuts that Donald Trump implemented from 2017 had expired, we will see the biggest tax hike, tax increase in modern history. And I think nobody with a connected brainstem wants that to happen. New tax deductions for tips and overtime. Cuts on Medicaid and food stamps. That's getting rid of waste, getting rid of illegal aliens that are on our government programs, taking taxpayer dollar that should be going to American citizens. Some people abusing Medicaid programs when they should be working. They should be doing other things. Instead, they're using the system and abusing the system. We
see, and we all know, somebody know, people that are abusing the program, people that walk into your office that you know that they've been your client for years and years. So, and you know that they can do other things, but somehow when you get all these programs, it gets real comfortable. See, the name of my show is MC what? MC Recovery and Relapse and Wellness Show. So I won't have to get back into that state. See? Because even in that state, I was working, being on drugs and alcohol. Shoot, that stuff make you work.
getting these jokers off. Funding the border wall. And stricter immigration.
Hold up.
We pay hundreds of billions of dollars subsidizing illegal aliens in this country. People claim that they pay taxes, yeah, but they're subsidized more than they pay. So therefore, they're net negative. They're a debt to our society. And so if you're illegally in this country, you got to leave. That's going to save us on the budget as well. Let's get to AOC real quick and see what this broad's saying. Roll the clip.
I think this is one of the saddest days in modern American history. This is the largest.
Hold on. Stop. One of the saddest days in modern American history. The saddest day in modern American history because we are extending tax cuts, adding tax deductions on tips and overtime, filtering out the garbage in Medicaid and food stamps, securing our border. Like, what's so sad about this? What is so sad about this? Oh, because the Democrats didn't do it, the Republicans did it. That's why it's so sad to you. You stupid B. And that means beautiful woman. Roll the clip.
Now, I remember the other day I showed y'all the clip when Obama and especially Joe and them was supposedly, apparently, officially was going to do that and choke. So I got talking to athletic terms. Choke. Never said nothing else about it, and just everything went haywire right after that. So let's get back to this part of the world.
Withdrawal and ending of health care in American history. 17 million people in our country, 17 million Americans in our country are going to lose their Medicaid. They're going to lose their ACA insurance.
Because they should be working.
Small business owners are going to have their health care costs
people that say something my father always
say. People are going to have their SNAP and WIC cut back. People are going to go hungry. People are going to get sick.
Hold on. There's a special place in hell.
Insurance.
Because they should be working.
Small business owners are going to have their health care costs skyrocket. And people are going to have their SNAP and WIC cut back. People are going to go hungry. People are going to get sick.
Hold on. There's a special place in hell. AOC got our own hotel room down there. People are going to go hungry is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. There is not one American that's hungry. Yeah, you may not eat 3 meals a day, but eating 2 meals a day don't make you starve. Eating 1 meal a day don't make you starve, to be quite honest. Second of all, there is no person that cannot get food stamps that is impoverished, that don't have a job, and don't have a level of income. They have food, they have programs from the government, churches, you name it. You will not live in the United States of America without eating. People begging on the side of the road making $50,000 a year and they paying no taxes. So give me a mother freaking break. Fear-mongering people and talking about people gonna go hungry. That's the stupidest thing ever. Do illegal aliens that come into this country with no job, can't speak no English, do they go hungry? Then why 20 million of them come over here? They're not hungry. Why are they hungry? Okay, that's what I thought. Roll the clip.
On a scale unlike anything we've ever seen. And all of it is just to finance tax cuts for billionaires and the wealthiest corporations who don't even need it. I don't think.
Now I'm gonna stop it there. Come on, they love using it. Notice they all got the same script. They all doing tax cuts for billionaires. Billionaires have companies, businesses, employees. They are millionaires. They have assets like property, cars, vacations, and other assets that only a few of their family members know. And their family members are benefited from it. I rest for sure. But at the same time, chasing these kind of things, especially being a female, sometimes they will come up short. And they know the laws. They know the laws. So rest for sure, Kevin Samuels was right. They want that high value man, but they know the high value man ain't checking for them. Checking for them. Can't have two masculine powers and two high powered incomes most of the time, especially if you're gonna be competing out there while I'm competing. Wow.
I've ever seen, I don't think we have ever seen or are prepared for how catastrophic this is set to be for a lot of people. And I think it's devastating. And they're talking about this as though it's some tax cut. Even the stuff that they're talking about, taxes on tips. No tax on tips. That's only for people, that's only up to $25,000. And if you're making less than that, you're already kind of exempt from a lot of these things in the first place. So they're giving people crumbs and they're taking away the whole loaf. And it's just a genuinely really sad day for our country.
What about Leader Jeffries' final message?
See, and a lot of people at my job, they love that no taxes on overtime. Believe me. And I work for the county of LA. A lot of people are really feeling that one. See, this is a person that ran for president, and you're finally starting to see some things come together. I haven't seen a president put in this much work within the first 100 days. And this is like, what, 150 something days coming? Come on.
Looking ahead to
Hakeem Jeffries.
2026, 2028.
Well, they're giving people crumbs and they're taking away the whole loaf. And it's just a genuinely really sad day for our country.
What about Leader Jeffries' final message? Looking ahead to 2026, 2028.
Well,
Hold on. I got to interrupt her. real quick. Why can't people understand what tax cuts for corporations mean? If you're stupid or you ignorant like AOC and you've never owned a company, you don't understand what corporations do with tax cuts. If a corporation gets a tax cut, where do you think the corporation is spending money? I'm talking about a corporation that's growing and building and creating opportunities and jobs, and they grow year over year to sell a company at some point or make billions of dollars of revenue. A company that's functional is not going to have a $6 million tax break and say, you know what, we're going to give $6 million to the CEO. Giving $6 million to the CEO don't create wealth and generate growth in your company. So sometimes they will pay the CEO a decent amount of money, but you need to grow in order to make more money. Tax cuts give companies opportunities to grow. For instance, we pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes every year as a corporation at my company. If I didn't have to pay that in taxes, what would I be doing with the money? Give me more money, go buy me a Lamborghini. No, stupid. What I'll be doing is investing in growing, investing in hiring, because then I could make 6 times, 10 times what I'm making now if I had the money to invest in growth in the company. These people have never owned a business. They know nothing of what they're talking about. If you overtax corporations, what happens? They don't grow. They cannot afford to go and buy a second property. They cannot afford to go and open a second location. They cannot afford to give their employees raises and hire more people. What are they going to do, ladies and gentlemen? They're going to start cutting people because if their tax burden goes to here and there, their P&L looks different. And what are they going to do? You know what? We got to lay a couple people off. Now we got AI. We got one person that can do 6 people's job. Oh, now we got lay off the people that are cleaning the building. We just can't afford that expense. So we can't have people cleaning the building. We got to do it on our own. So those people don't have a job now. Oh, now we wanted to get some new innovation and get some tenant improvements. We wanted to do all this stuff, which will.
See, so y'all basically get the drift. Feel free to go over there and check out Officer Tatum, rest of his cafe. I mean, he's smoking on that show. He's smoking. But now let's get over here, man. Ooh, he is smoking. Let me see if I left out any. See, AOC, most of them blue tape states, like I said, we are having a tax break out here in California because we pay the highest in taxes. So, and then the last administration had a cap on it. Now we got to keep an eye on this thing that happened yesterday with the Actors Bureau. See, we did all that to get them to stay. because we already having some budget difficulties right out here. So, hey, what's up there? Queen Greer's in the house. I see you. And then, so it's going to be some tax breaks. And that cap, that's going to be a surprise. But guess what? The news media is not going to talk about that cap. They're going to quietly get their 40,000 tax break when the last administration gave them a $10,000 cap on whether they own property and this, like it said earlier in the Reform California video that I started this show off with. So now we're going to listen to one part I haven't seen with the Hakeem Jeffries, but we might do one more, and then we're going to come back with another AOC in her live. Okay, so hold on there for a minute. Fair use. Let me see if I can find it. He's on the floor, and I want y'all to watch his body language. That's what I want y'all to watch, because look at his face. His face is going, Hakeem Jeffries' face, does it really appear like he's really in the paint for us? That's what I'm talking about. Is he really in the paint? Y'all know, like in the NBA, all this defense and offense. Is he really in the paint doing offense, or is he doing defense? Let's check it out. All right, fair use. Let me bring this up here. And here it is. This is on Forbes breaking news. Just something to listen to. I just wanted to put this one, allow you to see some body language.
Promise. A sacred trust between the American people and its stewards, her stewards in
See, don't it look like he got a smirk? Don't he look like he got some kind of smirk? How the representative come out there with a smirk? It seems like he's biting his jaw, holding his composure, and he know everybody's behind him. But when they look at this, they're going to see that smirk. Smirk. Then you have them white women right behind them. They can probably feel that smirk. That's the part that cracks me up. So let's get back to it. Ooh.
So I'm so thankful for leadership as it relates to Social Security from people like Congressman John Larson, who recognizes that our goals, recognizes that leadership is not attacking Social Security. We as House Democrats, led by John Larson, are determined to protect and strengthen Social Security for the American people. Keeping FDR's promise of conquering that frontier of financial insecurity. That's what we should be doing here in the United States Congress, not attacking the social safety net, Mr. Speaker.
See? But yet they're attacking the social safety net. And they don't want you to see it. They don't want you to see attacking the social safety net. The social safety net, what is that? Don't build no family. Let us be your family. That recognize the pattern. Who has been really in your household being the family? They want to be your parent at school. They want to run all the rules at the doctor office. They want your kids to not have you in the room when they turn 13, and they may change the number if you leave the left in office. They will change that from 13 to 10. And these children will be making adult decisions for operation, puberty enhancing medications. Some of them will be getting abortions because they see it's no problem having sex. Because that's a sexual nature topic. When you're giving them these sort of enhancing, mind-altering chemicals. That's what that is. And let's listen to some more of what he said on the floor.
my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, they constantly call things like Social Security and Medicare entitlement programs. I think they label Social Security and Medicare entitlement programs. And by the way, as a result of this one big ugly bill, Medicare will be cut potentially by more than $500 billion, the largest cut to Medicare in American history, set in motion by Donald Trump's one big ugly bill, and now co-signed, it appears, by House Republicans.
Ever wondered what your home...
Wow. These people cracking me up. These people is cracking me up. I'm telling you. Talking about this co-signed by the House of Republicans. But yet, y'all heard in the Reform California bill is that we're going to have to pick up the tab for the debris of the immigrants that are still left here and go to these emergency rooms. And if that's going on in California, that means New York going to have to pick up the tab, Chicago going to have to pick up the tab, Philadelphia going to have to pick up the tab. And I know y'all been seeing those homeless videos right over there in those states. So they would have to pick up the tab for these emergency rooms. So he's cutting it. And what it would do, it will screen these states and look at a better option. Maybe we should do things in the correct order to allow these individuals to be citizens. Because first of all, that makes them think now if they come over here and open up a business as illegal, they can send money back, but it's going to be taxed. See, out of all these administrations, no one never came up with that. Wow. But was somebody in the room, one of them yes men and women was in the room and were just afraid to say it, or if they said it, it was never reviewed. So feel free to go and check out that Forbes one on Hakeem Jeffries, because man, at the beginning of where I started from, at the beginning of that Forbes one, you're going to hear some lies and see some body language that's going to say, oh, he ain't coming at this wholeheartedly. So, man, thank y'all for showing up to the show. And I mean, man, is there another one? Yeah, one more. One more, like I said. Here's another one I'm going to show. Remember, and let's see of what this girl said earlier right on Forbes. AOC said on Forbes, this is going to be funny. And watch her. Watch AOC body language. Watch it. Because she grew up in that good neighborhood, okay? That good neighborhood. This, talking about the Bronx. Let me take this out. Talking about the Bronx, okay? That's what she loves talking about. But mind you, let's let y'all get a gander at who y'all really listening to. See, that's what they don't want y'all to see. Who is you really listening to? See, who is y'all really listening to? This is who you're listening to.
Let me rephrase that. One of our least favorite Democrat politicians has been exposed recently, and things are going downhill for her in a major way. Why? Because she's one of these loudmouth Democrat politicians. She's actually one of the loudest speakers on that side. She's always calling somebody out, and she's one of the most recently members of the Democrat Party to want to personally challenge the president. As a matter of fact, we're talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC. And as we know, AOC has gained her seat as portraying herself as this tough Bronx girl, this Hispanic Latina from the Bronx who don't take nothing from nobody, baby. Trying to.
Now, y'all hear what he said? Now we're gonna
How women in Beverly Hills look 10 years younger. Hi, what's your go-to breakfast?
Commercial
I love a breakfast burrito.
Some of these real quick. Number one, getting from an.
Now we're gonna get to some place.
Where AOC says she's from.
That's how she was elected.
Check this out. This is
elected because they thought that they could relate to her. Little did they know when you see that somebody's really trying to trigger you emotionally, you have to ask yourself why. What is it about what you're speaking about you don't want me to really experience? Why are you trying to gas me up on this? And so that's what she did on her whole Bronx girl stick. That's how she was elected, because they thought that they could relate to her. Little did they know they relate to her about as much as Elizabeth Warren relates to Native Americans. But without further ado, let me get off into this Benny Johnson. I'm just going to play a minute or two of it, and then I'm going to get back into this article. So stay with me. And you know what? I'm going to put this.
And I like to say, fair use. Wait till you see this part, and I'm gonna play it again on another show at the beginning to make sure we understand and comprehend where these people are really coming from. And I think they're coming from a place of dictatorship, quietly, dictatorship, and herding individuals into a mindset that's far away of what they want to do as their mission to the United States. So
this one on full screen so you can get the full gist of it.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bronx. This is where AOC says she's from. The Bronx. This is where AOC says.
I'm just going to play a minute or two of it, and then I'm going to get back to this article. So stay with me. And you know what? I'm going to put this one on full screen so you can get the full gist of it.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bronx. This is where AOC says she's from. And this is where AOC is actually from. Welcome to Yorktown, the business hamlet of Yorktown Heights. There's mansions everywhere. It's beautiful, it's green, it's pristine, it's clean. You have a Christopher Columbus Society. I thought AOC got all those statues ripped down. Some structural racism right here in AOC's hometown. Today we're going to investigate. I thought AOC got all those statues ripped down. Business hamlet of Yorktown Heights. There's mansions everywhere. It's beautiful, it's green, it's pristine, it's clean. And they even have a Christopher Columbus Society. I thought AOC got all those statues ripped down. Some structural racism right here in AOC's hometown. Today we're going to.
I had to start. Did you hear that? A Christopher Columbus Society of some sort. Wow. A Christopher came from a town that got a so-called person that discovered American society while people was already here. You just can't make this up, y'all. Can't make it up.
Investigate the biggest lie in all of politics, the fraud of AOC. Let's go.
This is the Bronx. The Bronx is a gritty, working-class, hardscrabble, historic borough of New York City. AOC is a communist who represents the Bronx in Congress. She's not just a rising star in the Democrat Party, she is the Democrat Party. Clearly preparing for a 2028 run, AOC is breaking fundraising records and filling stadiums to hype her Bronx girl persona.
I'm a girl from the Bronx.
AOC won her seat in Congress in 2018 by attacking her establishment Democrat opponent as not being sufficiently from the Bronx.
That a Democrat who takes corporate money doesn't.
You still here watching this? I really do realize there's no cuffs there.
Since AOC is about to run for president, we thought it would be important to investigate the town that gave America its most famous.
She's not being arrested. Look at her with her arms behind her back for the photo ops. Just pay attention to her wrist. You'll realize there's no cuffs there.
Since AOC is about to run for president, we thought it would be important to investigate
Type of propaganda these people do. She doesn't even have cuffs on. She's not being arrested. Look at her with her arms behind her back for the photo ops. Just pay attention to her wrist. You'll realize there's no cuffs there.
Since AOC is about to run for president, we thought it would be important to investigate the town that gave America its most famous communist.
This is not the Bronx. As you can see here, this is the leaf.
So, what do y'all think about that? So, in other words, go over there and check that out. Playing like she got arrested, using the Bronx. And that's like me saying, hey, I grew up in Beverly Hills, but y'all see what the hat say. And I can show you every scar. And you can match them with the medical report where where these knots and these scars on my body came from. Get it now? Like, where this scar came from? Oh, he was at Hubert Humphrey? Oh, he was at Martin Luther King? Oh. So, you know, like, whoa, man. That is something. Feel free to go over there and check out that video there, man. I'm going to start trying to put some of these links in, right, to the show. But golly, that's Brian Maxwell, man. Oh, man, he did some good work there, brother. So I'm going to get back to what she said on the floor yesterday or either today. Let's look at that, and we're going to wrap this up. And, man, golly, that was funny. That was funny, man. I mean, look, handcuffs. She ain't acting like they tight. She didn't put her arm out there to let you see that they was. Oh my God, man. Ooh, that was a good one there, boy. There you go.
Platform.
Minutes.
Thank you, and I thank the chairman.
Here we go.
President Trump had issued some statements throughout this process saying and urging, insisting that this bill does not cut Medicaid. He's also said some things, he says he doesn't think I'm too much of a smart person. And I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't take a smart person to know if you're being lied to. President Trump, you're either being lied to or you are lying to the American people. Because...
See, now, I got something with it. She's trying to water down her conversation. You're either being lied to, saying that somebody's telling them some lies, or is you doing it yourself? See, I think she's at a place where, she feel like, damn, this is too much. I got to bag up out of there. So I just wanted y'all to just see that part. Feel free to go over there and watch it. I am going to take up no more of your time. Thank y'all for coming in here to this show. And I thought I was going to put the thumbnail on while the show was playing. But until then, I'm out. And I may come back with some live scanner feeds if I got the correct individuals out there in the streets. Till then, see y'all real soon. Peace. AOC communist. Yeah, yep, that's right. Until then, take care.